All right. Y'all pan out.
Fawn and Dan are going to call us tonight. She was just waiting to hear back from her HR department.
It isn't a trainee, so it's an in-person.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and mute everybody.
So, Jared, if you could handle that too, is just hit the mute all. And
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Amy. We have a full house tonight. It is great to see all of you. We are excited tonight as we go through the art and science of consistent clients, really unveiling this whole, how do you put this 250K plus coaching business together, doing it in a way that is really in alignment.
we're muted.
That didn't make any sense. Here I've just been like, can you hear the words now?
Actually, let's just
Can you
do.
hear me now? Let's just do a tech check. Gerald, awesome. Thank you. Perfect. Here I was like saying the whole thing and I'm like, wait a minute, I think we're muted. Good catch before we went too far. So tonight I'm really excited. We're bringing, how the art and the science to having consistent clients and being able to put this all together in a way that is really aligned to who you are. So you can create this coaching business in a way that is, we're coaches because this is a calling for us, right? Does anyone else feel that? It's like, it's in your being. This is why I'm here on this earth, is to make a difference with people. Like, what else would I do, right? And those are the people that we love working with. And if that's you, I want to hear in the comments, yes, I am called to this. I want to hear the chats. I want to see the chats. Yes. Awesome. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm just getting a few people the Zoom link that didn't seem to get it or something, and I'll be right here.
Okay, awesome. So I'm just going to keep going then.
Yes.
So I want to get really clear before we start any kind of web class or anything. I think it's really important to just set expectations, something like so you can what you can expect. Just so it's everything is clear, right? So today we are going to go for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We have a lot of stuff and it's not going to be all training. So if that's okay with you guys, if we make this interactive, we make this an experience, we're going to make this some discovery for you. And I'm out for you guys to take away, like, that you find the missing pieces of what has been missing in this whole time for you, right? Because there's no doubt, I'm sure this isn't your first training. Maybe you've been doing things, I'm actually curious, how long have you been coaching? Are you just getting started? Have you been coaching for a year or two? I'm just curious the experience level, so I can make sure that I'm talking directly to you and you're getting what it is that you need. Just getting started. Perfect. Well, I am glad that you have stepped forth in your mission and your calling. You are exactly where you need to be. About 3 years, awesome. 14 years off and on. Paid coaching for a year. High five. Congratulations. Mostly in programs I've offered in person. 22 years. Heck yeah, Pan. Coaching for years, but officially 3.
Congrats.
Awesome. Congrats. Great to see you here. All right, awesome. So let's talk about who this is for. So who this is for that, just like we were just talking about, that coach that is called to be here, right? You know that you're here to be a coach. You know that you're here to make a difference and impact in people. When we have a calling, it's like, we may even try to push the calling away and it just doesn't go away, right? We've gone through experiences. You've climbed the mountains. You've overcome the things. You have gone through all of the things that you've gone through in this world, and your pain has been transformed into now you're taking this purpose in your life and going out there and to impact people. If this is you, you are in the right space. You've probably known your whole life that you were a little bit different and didn't fit in from everyone else. And really, you weren't created to. You were here to not fit in, to be a stand for people, to help through this transformation. Like, we're a different kind of breed of people, right? So if this is you and you're out to really impact people's lives, you're in the right spot. You know anything?
No, I'm just getting check-in. Like, does that resonate with you guys? Does that seem like is she speaking to you? just kind of checking in on all that. Like definitely felt my whole life like I wasn't fitting in, but what I realized that is that I wasn't meant to. I need, like, I'm here to work with people and to make a difference and lead, not to follow. Because if you fit in places, you end up following that crowd. And so Joe, can you accept Whitney, please? Thank you.
We'll be in competition.
Yes,
Hey, it'd be
speed
great to see you.
competition. There you go. Good job.
All right, so who this is not for, this is not for people if you're just looking for like a get rich quick kind of thing. Hey, show me how to make all this money. This probably, actually, I know this is not for you.
Yeah, if you're just looking to make money and don't care about the outcome of your client or the results that they get or that their lives are transformed, this is probably not for you.
Coaching, it's this cool trend. Let me go ahead and check that, like try this.
Yeah, like if you have 27 things going on and coaching is the 37th one on the back burner, this is probably not for you. If you're looking to commit and really like transform people's lives because you're really out to commit and make a difference in their lives and make this impact, then this is for you.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We just keep going.
Yeah.
All right. So who are we? So I'm curious. I see a lot of familiar faces. I actually see a couple new faces too. So I want to go through briefly. If you guys have been on our training before, you probably know our story. And for those who are brand new, I just want to share very briefly, because I do want to get into the meat and potatoes and honor your time on all of this. Awesome, Elaine. So a little brief, I don't know, where do you want to start?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the thing is we weren't always living on a lake in a beautiful neighborhood with a 2 Comma Club award. With, if you don't know what a 2 Comma Club award is, it's for doing $1 million in sales in your coaching, in your business, with one sales funnel. And it hasn't been all that way. Like 4 years ago, going on 4 years, we are actually living in our accountant's grandson's smelly bedroom. And before that, we lived with my mom. And so we like really was like moving up in the world. And I remember going to a seminar and learning one thing was that if your life isn't working, is most likely you don't have, there's somewhere out of integrity in your life. And we're going to show some places where there could be some out of integrities in your business and you don't even know about it in this training. So
out of integrity is being not your word or your like a promise that you've made, not having anything to do with morality of like the right or the wrong thing. So
exactly. Yeah, this isn't a make right, but we went to there and we learned all of these places where our life and everything was out of integrity, and we end up getting in communication and making new promises, paying a lot of people money that we owe. I got out of debt, like all of these things, right? And just being in communication, because communication is so powerful. You can have anything in your life while being in communication. For sure. And it was not even a week after we went to this program, we started getting $2,000 sales and $3,000 sales. And then we had somebody call us and say, hey, this is when we ran an agency. We used to do done for you sales funnels. At the top end, we were charging $25,000 for sales funnel. If you guys know what a sales funnel is, when you registered for this event, it's the place that you clicked on to register. That whole process is a sales funnel. So we used to get paid $25,000 plus to create those for businesses. And
you may be thinking, used to, wow, that sounds great. Why would you not do that anymore? Great question.
that part of the story will come up real quick. So we get a call from a friend that was at an event, and she said, hey, I have a friend here that needs a sales funnel, and could you do her sales funnel for $12,000? Like, yes, we could do our, sure, we could figure that out. And so 2 days later, we had $12,000 in our account and we were off to the races. Then we had another $10,000 one and then several other and it added up to about $38,000 for that month. So we went from living in our accountant's grandson's bedroom, stinky bedroom, to moving in to the beach, like where we literally were on, like in a condo where we could overlook and hear the waves every night and just walk out into the sand. And it was just amazing until we got to fulfill on all those sales funnels, where I could sell them really fast. And now Holly's gotten really fast at creating them. But back then,
over 10 time.
yeah, it didn't quite have that skill set back at that point in time. And so it literally caused so
Well, it
much.
wasn't just the skill set, it was the projects that we were working on.
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah. That's a good
So,
point.
so I was pouring in, like when I take a project, I like pour into it, right? And I'm pouring into like knee pain doctors and hair restoration clinics and like
Gutter repair.
gutter repair and home additions and construction companies. Like it wasn't my passion at all. It was actually really boring. And I became miserable in that, like I created my dream into a job. Right. And I don't know if any of you guys have experienced that when you're building your business and you're doing these things, then all of a sudden, like how in the world did what you wanted to do and your dream and this freedom turn into a freaking job that I hated?
Mhm.
It sucked. Like here I was on the ocean and everything looked great and I was miserable. And of course that didn't.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So then we get invited to sponsor an event by the same person that actually sent us that sales funnel. And we sponsored that. We go to this event and we invited 2 clients. We had one that was a publicist, great person, but she was very out for herself and very about the money, the person that we kind of talked about at the beginning. And then we invited another one that was a neuro performance coach, and she was out to really make a huge impact in the world.
She was amazing.
She is amazing. And it was just the contrast of, wow, this is who we want to work with. Not necessarily neural performance, but just the way of being. Do you know when you're working with your ideal person, like, have you guys had your ideal client that you worked with and you're like, wow, this person is freaking amazing. I always say that half of what we do is we make selfless people selfish, because we have to help you actually charge and make money and like real
And acknowledge
your wins
and share those wins.
and yeah, so it's but anyways, going full circle, one of the things we heard at this event, the guy's name was Steve Farber, and he said something that was so powerful. He said, do what you love in the service of the people that love what you do. And that literally changed everything for us. It literally changed everything, because we were like, holy crap, we need to do this, but something different, because the whole fully done for you funnels and stuff, it still took a lot of energy and a lot of work, right? Because Holly puts a lot of love in everything that she does.
Yes, I do.
And so how do we do 2 things? We got a radical honesty with ourselves. Like, anybody ever get to that point where like, this shit is not working and I need to be really honest with myself right now? Like, we got to this place of like, this isn't working. This is causing burnout. This is causing, and we'll get to what it was starting to cause in a second, but our business isn't working. Our life isn't working. All the things are not working. And literally it caused burnout to a point for Holly so bad that she started having seizures. I remember the first time that she was in the office. This was actually before we left to go to the beach. And this was the very first one. She was leaning against the wall and she slid down the wall and just completely went unconscious, and then started like convulsing. And we called 911, went to the hospital. They basically told us that she's a drug. She's like, she like assumed we were on drugs,
or stress or
all this stuff. And then we went on a long journey of healing. Why is she having seizures? And then it got to a point where she was having almost 12 seizures a day. We're like, had to figure out a way to shift this situation. And then we did. So we came out with a leverage group program, and we launched that. But
meanwhile, I went to holistic medicine and went into the functional neurology route and started healing my brain from a lot of different things. Just wanted to include that in there.
yeah. But the important thing here is that we started focusing on working with the people that we love to work with, the people that are out to make an impact, where it energizes us to work with those people.
That's
with you all.
Yeah.
So, and we thought we kind of had it under wraps, right? Thought everything was good. You ever think that you got things all worked out? Phew, we just dodged a bullet. And then I went out to eat, or went out for my birthday with some friends, and I came back and Holly was completely convulging, and she had been convulsing for a while. She'd been seizing for a while, and I'm dumping CBD down her throat, and we're doing electrolytes. I'm giving her mouth to mouth, and she finally came out of it, and she said something that my stomach completely dropped. She said, "Who are you and where are we?" And I never dealt with anything like this before. She literally had no memories. She like knew her name. She didn't know she had kids. She didn't know my name or who I was. She knew that I was cute. I think that was the only thing she said, like she knew. And she knew that she loved me. I believe that's what you said. Maybe you made that up. I don't know. But we literally had to rebuild her memory, and this is
so what happened? I just kind of like want to clear up like what had happened was from the seizures, it caused a brain trauma in what's called the pons region of your brain, and in the pons region of your brain is where all of your memories are stored. So from the seizures, as that part of my brain got injured, my memories completely wiped out. Now, as I worked through functional medicine, we worked through different eye movements, and I started healing my brain. My memories did start coming back. Go ahead. I just wanted to like fill in some of the gaps that I think are important in our story.
Yeah, and one of the things that was so powerful is we actually had a training in like 3 days, and she was working on like a kind of like what you did here, but this is way better. You'll see. She did an amazing slide deck, which we never do, but the graphics that she's been creating has been amazing. And so she was creating these slides, and she was like relearning our story through going through the slides. And then she was like, she's like, well, let's do this training. Like, what?
It sounds crazy, I'm sure.
Yeah, and so give her like some cheers or she's amazing. And so
yes, I'll take them. Thank you.
So we do this training, and I remember there was a point in time in the training where we were showing off this award that we got. Not as quite as cool as that award. It looked like a
coaster.
Well, it was an award for us doing $10,000 in 1 month in our business, and or $25,000 in our business, and she goes, yeah, and this guy gave us these coasters on stage.
I was close.
It was the funniest thing. So in the process of her going through our whole business, she got to really see what was working and what wasn't for our clients. So we had worked with several clients at that time and got some amazing results. We had one client, her name was Amber. She did $138,000 in 6 weeks. So she was an offline coach that had gone online, that literally when she went to go from offline coach, anybody here do like offline coaching, like where you met people in person, like maybe, or I know Pan, you spoken and did events and stuff. Well, she literally lost 70% of her clientele because she didn't have any idea how to do on, like, she didn't know how to do Zoom. Like, that's how technical defuncto she was. And so when she started working with us, she was charging $17,000 for the year, but was way down on her income. And so Holly started working with her and actually bumped up her price to $33,000 for the year. And you don't have to have this high of a price. This is just what she had. She ended up signing 6 of those clients in 6 weeks of working with us, using this, what you're going to learn in this training.
Yeah.
But then some of our clients didn't plug in and didn't do the work, and we were like, why is this person getting this amazing results and this person is not getting the amazing results? And Holly literally, because she was coming from a blank slate. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so there was a time, like, in all of this, like, what was going on in me, like, it was, what I do remember from this is, like, at one point I felt that this is gonna sound weird, but whatever, I feel like I'm in the midst of my people, right? And this is showing up authentically, and this is what you do. But there was a point where I literally felt like I wasn't from this place, and like I was sent here to help humanity. Like, for a while, that was my, like, that's the only thing that I knew, is I was here to rise a conscious collective of humanity. I knew nothing else. And that was like mission, like if you have a mission programmed in, like, mission programmed, boom, this is what I need to do. And there was like a superhuman there was no stories, there was no back, there was no nothing. And I would just go and I would just look at data of our clients and what we had them go through in the process, and like what their wins were and what their wasn't were. And I started putting this all together as I was healing. I don't know how to, like, it was just,
it's interesting if you look at this event, right? It's the art and the science. She was very science at this point. Like, all the art was gone, like in the closet somewhere. I don't know. She put that back away.
But it was a flow, so there was an art in it, right? But it was just a flowed out science of just mapping this whole thing out and putting all of these pieces together. I was just like a scientist and artist putting all of this stuff together, and it really created our entire methodology. From this, we've been working and plugging coaches in we are on year 5. We've worked with hundreds of coaches, plugging them through this. So I am just like you in that we've all had our stories of why we're a coach and why we do what we do. I know because I know that I am here to equip the called and the world changers, to make you guys a path for you to fulfill your purpose and your mission and your calling in the world, so that you can go out there and make a difference with people, because together, that's how we do this. And I'm really clear on my purpose, and I'm really clear on how we do it. So are you guys open? Do you want to see this entire model and this whole approach of what we do and how we put this together? Awesome.
I want to actually, before we do that, and we have a song. Holly has a song.
I don't have a song. I didn't get it.
Oh, you're getting
it. Pull it up.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're gonna have to flow it. Who wants to hear the song? Holly literally wrote a song about our process. It's very, very badass. So Gerald, are you here while Holly gets this pulled up, and you can
yes. All right, I'm a projector. I just had my invitation.
All right. I'm gonna add you as a pin if you want to unmute. Gerald,
hey Chad, how are you?
What up, man?
And Holly.
I wanted to have you come out and share why should they stay for this whole event and really plug into what they're going to discover here.
Obviously, besides my singing.
Well, I want to thank both of you for doing this. I was actually excited about this. I've been working really, Chad and I actually been friends for a long time, and he's known that this is where I needed to be for years, but we've just stayed in contact, and he's watched what I was doing, different things like that. And I've been really plugged in for about 2 months now, and it has been life-changing, completely life-changing. From the I had one-on-one coaching people. I saw in the comments somebody put, I've been changing lives but never paying for it. That was me. That was totally me. And I was helping friends. I was doing this. writing books, doing a lot of different things. And I'm like, how do I need to do this all the time. And so it's only been a couple of months. And I mean, from everything, from the analytical stuff in the Quantum Impact program to the spiritual stuff that Holly, I mean, we've done some crazy stuff that has helped me as a person become a better version of myself. And not only that, but also help me to help others. And so it is really, and it was quick. I mean, it made changes each week, every week. It helps me do something different in my practice. It helps me do something different in my life. I mean, it's not just, it's really incredible. And I'm not, for everybody watching, I'm not just saying that because Chad's been my friend. You know, I'm saying that because it's impacted my life as a person and the way I can approach clients and not feel, I'm not a salesperson. I'll do it all for free. That's part of, you know, I'm like, I'll give it all away. And so I've learned, I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned is not to be salesy and just you present what you love. And people say, okay, how do I want a part of that love. I want to be a part of that love. How can I get more of that into my life? And you don't have to sell it. You don't have to sell it. And I love that part of the program. And again, it's multifaceted. It's so rad. We had Holly and I had a call early on. It was an hour and a half, might've been 2 hours. And I mean, I'm talking tears. And I freaking super glued my teeth in before. I've stitched myself up. I'm not like a panty waist or something like that. But it hit home. It hit home with me down in here. And it was an incredible experience. And it had nothing to do with, it had everything to do with my practice. Let me rephrase that. Because the call wasn't necessarily about that. It was about the energetics in me, the emotional side of me, and what maybe was my roadblocks and some things that I had going on. And so there's a lot of stuff, a lot of information, and it's worth every minute of your time to be here today, because if you just get a little bit of that, you're going to be better off for it.
So, okay, we got very art there, right? So, because we're going to keep on going back with the duality of this training. So that's very art, right? Very heart centered, very emotions. Let's go science here. So you've never had a real paying client, right? Like until you, okay. So you never had a Facebook group, right?
Nope.
All right. So let's see here. How many people you got in your Facebook group now?
We might be over 300 now.
Nice. And then you got one paying client so far?
First 3 weeks.
First. How much do you charge?
$3,000.
So you went from charging zero, never like dollars, to $3,000 and have 300 people in your Facebook group. And dude, that's awesome. Freaking
and
crush
I want to
it.
say, thank you. But I want to say, Chad, a lot of that was what I learned in the first couple of weeks, just learning, because that paying client, before we could even get off that call, he was saying, where do I sign up? How much is it? We got to do this, dude. I didn't have to because it used to be uncomfortable for me to say, well, it's this much money, you know, and I'd say it in a low breath under my, you know, even if it was $100, but I didn't even have to say that, you know. He was like, all right, where do I sign up and when do we start? What's up, dude? Let's do this.
Awesome.
And so, and I can thank you and Holly for that, because there's a methodology to it. And that's why I said there's an analytical side, but you don't quit being who you are. You guys embrace who I am and help me magnify that, and then put in some little tools and some things to do a little bit differently. And it didn't totally change my life, but it did totally change my life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's awesome, dude.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome. Thank you. Boop. And we're back. All right. So are you guys ready to hear the song? We need everybody to chime in here. No lurkers on Holly's song. So we need permission for her to sing the song. So just in the chat.
You've already heard, belt it out.
So we got one person, 2 people, 3 people. All
I'm
right.
doing this a cappella too, so. This is me. I only sing in the shower and in the car, guys. You're killing me. You're killing me.
All right, you ready?
Okay, we will go to the called coach approach. Why? Because the called coach approach, it's your time to shine. The called coach approach is one of a kind, with ancient wisdom, modern frameworks, well, totally combined.
You keep going. You got it.
I'm gonna stick to coaching.
Keep going.
All right, hold on. Our system is approachable and easy to use. You'll feel empowered with clarity and never confused. With alignment and abundance, your success will grow. The called coach approach is surely the way to go. All right, that's all my singing. I'm not a singer, I'm a coach. You guys ready to hear this? Perfect. All right, let's go.
Awesome.
That was fun. All right, I'll give you the one thing I can promise. Every time we go live, every time we do anything, I want to make sure that we are an experience to remember. Okay, very good. Let me get into this present piece. Let's get into the art and science. So we keep talking about this art and science, right? When we talk about the art and science, you know, you usually hear all of the science stuff. You need the systems, the process, the tracking, the numbers, all your SOPs. You get to be grounded. I can see a lot of the spiritual, this isn't always the favorite part, right? But we have the other side too of alignment and flow and energetics and heart space and intuition and connection and supportedness and transformation and creativity and building relationships. The key here is having them both, right? You have your brain and your heart coherence. This is a multifaceted, I talk in multidimensional ways. So we're going to go deep a little bit, right? So in our body, when we have brain heart coherence, things start working. We're grounded. Things work smoothly. We're in flow. In our business, a lot of times I see out in the marketing, there's either all science or there's all art. You have all systems, kind of the bro marketing pieces of things, or you have the empowerment, the art alignment. Like, this is bringing these worlds together because genuinely you need both. Like, it is great to be in alignment. It is great to have the energetics and everything in it. And when you have the systems and the process that support you through the alignment and the energetics and the heart space and the intuition, things can just magnify. You got something?
Yeah, I want to check in with everybody. Who feels like they're and put it in the chat so we know who feels more art and who feels more science. Like, where do you feel more art?
As a research dude, science is my dominant side.
There you go. Rob.
Perfect.
So
Mix of both.
Mix of both.
Balance.
Awesome.
Good. Both. Art for sure. Very balanced. Awesome.
Nice.
Feel like a blend. Art, science. Ooh, we have a nice like blend of awesomeness here. Both.
Mm-hmm.
Both. Cool. Good. I love that all of you guys are saying both, because and if it's all art, all good. Then we get to
If you're all science, that's all good.
totally all good. So now we get to bring the harmony of the science and the art together. All right.
Morning, Claire. I know it's like or late. I don't know if it's late or early for her.
Sherry as well.
Yeah, right.
All right, so the called coach approach. Really, we're going to go through the 3 elements to be able to get consistent clients here and bring in that art and that science. So you have a process and a strategy that allows soul-led flow. What Gerald was talking about, how he felt that it was like in his, he didn't even point to his heart. It was like all of him, his inner being, right? That's from the space that you want to come from this.
Mm-hmm. Right. Can we get a cheer for Holly on the slides? Don't these look amazing?
Thank you. I've just been in like creation. So the 3 elements, first, you need to be able to attract your audience, right? You're attracting people to you. We're going to go through what steps that's going to look like and bringing the science and the art in each of those steps. But you need to have the attract piece. This enroll piece. Once you can have a huge audience, but likes and comments do not do not bring in, do not pay the
They
bills.
don't pay the bills.
Right? Well, in some maybe areas, not in this sense, doesn't pay the bills. You get to have a strong enrollment process that is not salesy, that's not pushy. If you guys are singing the called coach approach before you go to sleep, like the called coach approach, it's one of a kind. You're welcome. All right, so we have this enroll piece and then also the transformation. We are transformation coaches. There will be a continuous transformation as you grow. Your business will only grow as far as you do, right? So we are going to break down some of the pieces in the transform piece. Okay, so as we go through here, we're going to break this down. Is there a way to?
Wow, Rad, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So first things first, how is it that you become an authority in your niche? How do you position yourself as an authority in your niche? Now we're going to break down each one of these pieces. And as you can see, we have a little traffic light here of red, yellow, and green. So if you've been on one of our trainings, you may think you know what's about to happen, and maybe not. We got some additions to add in though. So as we go through these, you want to we're going to rate ourselves on each piece of this. So not only are you getting the model and the whole methodology, but you're also seeing what's there for you specifically that may be missing in your business. So throughout this whole process, you'll rate yourself either red being it's not working, or this part is stuck in my business, or this is an area I definitely need improvement on. Yellow being it's like it's okay,
Mhm.
right? It's like meh, kind of working, kind of not. And if it's green, you are good in this area. Don't fix what's not broken. Everything, like if it's
And
green, keep going.
And there's nothing wrong with a red or a yellow, right?
No.
It's like completely okay to be any of those. So let's get into it. All right. So impact messaging. What does this look like? So one of the things that you're going to look at, are we pulling away and whiteboarding? Okay.
We might bring our CCO. She sounds a little upset down there. So we have a 3-year-old in the midst of all of this. Do we have any family people in here who have kids as well? We are family friendly around here.
Yes.
So I may have to go grab her up. She's
all right
with friend downstairs.
So what we're going to talk about is impact messaging. And so some of the things you need for impact messaging is you need to get really clear on your niche, is because how are you going to be authority in your niche if you don't have a niche? Yeah, go for it. But more importantly, you need to come up with a micro niche. What is a micro niche? A micro niche is a very specific result for a very specific person. So I'm just curious, what does everybody do here? Just put it in the chat so we know what you do. If you say, I do this thing, this very specific thing for people, then you would be very clear on maybe the specific result that you have them get, but not very specific on the person, right? So it's do what you love and get the result for the people that you love to do. You're doing what you love in the service of the people that love what you do. If you're doing everything for everyone, then you are completely unniched. So mentor, trainer, speaker, chief solutionist. Awesome. Who do you do that for? Don? Help Christians attain and maintain true health so they can fulfill their mission with abundance and an extended health span. Love it. Creative means of addressing challenges. So Craig, that's a little broad, right? So nothing wrong. So it's just like going into, I'm an ADHD coach for adults. I help them calm from the chaos. Love it. So adults, that now what kind of adults? So the more specific the the result, the more specific the person, the easier it is to be an authority in your niche. Would you guys agree that it's easier to be a more of an authority the more narrow your niche is? So micro niche. Then the next thing that we're going to talk about here is, this is going to culminate in impact messaging. So then the next thing is getting really clear where your clients are. So if we know who our clients are and we know the result we help them get, but we have no clue what platform they're on, then that's not helpful. Right? Would you guys agree that, like, if you don't know where to find them on a consistent basis, it's kind of not helpful, right? See, Amy. Awesome. Great job, Craig. Tell me more about the very specific part of it. Sorry about. I am totally. If you're a proofreader, you're gonna hate or love me because you're going to have a lot to do. So next is clear messaging. So obviously this is like, I help so-and-so get specific result in specific time without specific thing. Like, it's really like, is it effective? Let's not call it clear messaging. It's effective messaging.
Good distinction.
So speaking who truly wants the backup in life with divine guidance. Awesome. All right. So now what we want to address here is we want to rank yourself. So everybody, if you got a, does everybody have a pen?
Science and the art?
No, let's talk about that next. Yes.
I came in here.
Yes, I'm glad you did. All right, so the science is going to be, how do we use frameworks to narrow your niche in? How do you really create like a structure to your messaging? How do you create structure in your client, like in the client that you work with? How do you create like boundaries in like, no, sorry, I don't work with these type of people. It's like the exclusionary, right? It keeps the wall. So so this is the science. This is
boundaries, frameworks.
yes, and then art. So art is authenticity. So how do we create this and still stay authentic to ourselves? One of the things I've noticed, and this is actually we're creating this whole new program for our people, and one of the challenges is I think we've had in the past is we've helped our clients create a niche. And one of the frameworks that we use to discover your niche is profit. Who actually has the money to pay you top dollar for your services? So you can kind of, and a lot of times people are like, oh, okay, well, millionaires, like CEOs, executives, seven-figure business owners, this type of stuff. But authentically, if you can't see yourself working with these people, then how are you going to be able to attract those clients? It's going to be very challenging. If you can't be in the same room and be comfortable talking to them, even though you're an authority and an expert in your niche, then picking this niche is not going to work.
Yeah, if you're trying to like figure out the right thing to say and put it all together with its right person, it can get, that's where the flow and the authenticity can start getting lost, and speaking your truth and the alignment piece. So all of that is important too when you're working with your niche.
Got it. So you guys seeing the difference in the science and the art of really creating your messaging and really this process? Anybody like have questions about this or just want to check in? All right. So what you want to do is you want to rate yourself kind of an overall with this whole process. So if you feel green, you're like, my messaging is on point. I'm super clear on my niche. I know where my clients are and the message and like everything's flow. I'm in my authentic self. I also have the boundaries so I can say no. Like you can push away people, once in a while we'll push away people that aren't our at the beginning of this. Hey, if you're somebody that is out to just make money and not make an impact and really you don't care about the results with your clients, this training is not for you. Go away. Right. So that takes structure and that takes on the science side of things. Right. And so do you have those boundaries and that structure to say, no, I don't work with these people? I remember, our clients, they got the 6 clients in the 6 weeks for 138K, whatever. She got however many in that period of time, or 6 in that time. And then she came back and she's like, one of them was a guy. And she's like, you know what? I'm not working with guys anymore. They don't.
She's like, no offense, Chad, but they don't listen. They think they know it all. And it's a big pain in the butt to work with them.
Yes. And so so she stopped working with guys. And we're like, awesome, great job. Like that's creating that boundary.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and rate yourself because I want to be aware of the time and I want to make sure that we get through all of this in the time that we said we were going to.
Yes.
So rate yourself now. Are you red? Are you yellow? Or are you green in this area of messaging? I saw a couple of yellows. Awesome. And then we're going to keep going throughout this process. So this next part is really having a community and not just a Facebook group, right? If you've been to past trainings, I told you we're having some different things. We've set up our process. We've gone through and re-raked every single process that we have, everything that we've done. We did an assessment of what were holding people back, what was stopping people, what was confusing people, what wasn't working, and how do we switch this up? So a heart community is really human engagement, authenticity. Shit, I totally forgot what this is. But it's leading from a place of heart. I'll go back and get that after I'm not talking and have Chad talk.
It's all good.
So it's having a community where it's for something, right? You don't just have a Facebook like, hey, here's my Facebook group that is about my program so that you can hire me. You ever been in one of those groups? Like, that this group is like, I'm having this group to hire me. It's very clear. It's in the energetics, it's in the strategy. And I think that it's good to have a community where you get clients. So I want to be clear. So it's good to have a community that you can have a clear, this is the art and the science. So having a community that has this process that is put in place that allows you to use it to be able to get clients, but then having that art piece in this of leading from this heart space, creating relationships, emotional, authentic relationship techniques. I'm like, I knew I would. I'm like, it is authenticity. It is building relationships. It is coming from a place of like empowered empathy, heart space. And when you can create your group, when you're for something, right? It's like you're creating not just a group, but you're creating this movement. You're creating a movement of people that are for something and they're coming together around something. And they're seeing you as the leader of that something because of how you show up. You become an authority in your niche when you can do this correctly. And you need the science of the strategy to be able to lead with your heart.
Yeah. And so this is how we're going to do this one. Green is you have amazing heart and you're nurturing, you're building amazing relationships. You're building this rapport and connection with people, right? And you are also have a structure and strategy where you're able to use your group as an attraction process where you're attracting people using your group, but you're also nurturing and then building relationships for and getting clients, right? So you're getting clients, you're getting engagement, you're getting people telling you how they love this group, and I love the part of this community, I love being a part of it, and all the things.
So HEART stands for Human Empowered Authentic Relationship Technique.
Yep. And it's creating these conversations that are turning into clients, right? So that's green. Yellow is you are, well, I guess it could be dead. You're not getting any engagement. There is no connection, but somehow you're getting clients. That's possible. But the other side of it's more likely is that you're getting engagement, you're getting people that love your posts and are getting tons of value, but you're not getting any clients from your group. And then red is no clients, no engagement, maybe you don't even have a group, which again, nothing wrong. Cool, good check-in. All right, next one. And hopefully your neck is, so
I know the power of your brain. I did a lot of studies on brains as I was healing it, and I'm confident that you can read very clear that it is audience builder.
Awesome. So audience builder, this is having your, well, in the science of it, is the structures and the frameworks for sharing content, and where it doesn't take up all your time, where you're actually being able to, so we have a process where you can post in different spots and it looks like you're all over the place. It looks like you are like constantly.
Are we in any of the same groups?
Yes.
Do you guys see us posting, and we have all of the posts, and just curious if we share the same groups. Maybe not.
So it looks like you are everywhere, but you're not. It's a system and a structure of how you're sharing your content and where it doesn't look like you're sharing the same thing. It looks like it's all different content, and it's effectively building your audience on a consistent basis and showing up as an authority in the world, right? You're building this audience, you're building this authority and connection. And the heart is having a framework for your content that's authentically you, that is really in flow, where you don't have to structure, like you don't have the script, right? Scripts are not flow. Like, do you want to go into a little bit of before you? Okay, you get it. Okay, so having both the flow, having the connection, the people are really resonating with your content. They're really, it's really hitting people's, like, these heartstrings, or pulling heartstrings. You're doing all this, but you also have the structure where it's not taking a ton of time. You're showing up everywhere, but you're being able to do this. So this is, that's green. So both, you're creating these amazing connections through your content, and you're also attracting and enrolling clients through content. We have a process, and I'll share it real quick. It's this. Let me share the whiteboard, and I will. So you need 3 types of content. You need content that attracts clients, right? And then you need your nurturing content. This is stuff that handles objections. It builds rapport. It shows your processes and how you transform your clients. How do you take people from aware of their issues to actually yeah, I can hire this person knows what they're talking about. They are an expert. How are you showing that you're an expert through your content? And then there's the third kind of content, which is hot content. So this is warming content, and then hot content, and then cold. Cold attracts, it builds this audience. Warm nurtures connection, builds authority, handles objection, all these things. Hot gets people to raise their hand. It says, hey, who is looking for, I'm looking for this many people to get this result in this period of time. This isn't for everyone. You'll probably see some of these posts from us in the next week or so. When you've done a bunch of nurturing, you build a bunch of connections, then you get people to raise their hand. It's a process. So rate yourself on a green. Green is like you have all three. You have cold, warm, and hot. You have the science, you have the structure where it's not taking you a bunch of time. You have the authenticity, you have the flow, you have the heartstrings being pulled. You're all of these things. Awesome. Green or yellow is maybe you're getting the heartstrings. You're building all this like where people are reaching out and telling you, man, I love your content. It's so good. It's so amazing. But it's not turning into clients. Or maybe you're getting clients, but you don't feel like you're being yourself. You're not being, you're not, it's not positioned as an authority. You're not having people reach out and sign on as client from your content. And red is you don't have a structure, you don't have systems for your content, and you're not getting clients from your content. And it's not creating some transformation. It's not being seen. Got it.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Super wrong.
Wait. Cheers for Holly. Let's get some cheers for Holly of like running a massive training and having like dealing like loving a baby through everything she's doing. Let's like really kind of take on what she's going through, right?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you. All right. So now this is the thing. You can attract all the clients you want. We had a client, John. Amazing dude. He actually, we still talk to him all the time. When we got our 2Com Club award, he came to ClickFunnels, come to the event and saw us get our award. It was amazing. He actually was driving from Miami to New York and called us and was like, hey, what are you guys up to? We're like, we're just hanging out. Like, oh, you mind if I stop by in like an hour and a half? Sure, dude. Like, come on through. And so he came and stayed with us, like, and we had an extra room for him, stayed the night. But this is the thing, this dude could put 1,000 people in a group in a weekend, right? He's a freaking amazing at creating the like groups and authority and building these movements is how he was talking about. But when we met him, he couldn't enroll a client for $1,000 to save his life. We actually told him, I told him that he was, because this is the thing, he was referring people like crazy. He was sending the people in his following to us. I think we enrolled like 2, 3, 4, 5 clients from him. And we just paid him cash. And he was like, hey, could you just, instead of paying me cash, work with me, right? Just work with me in your program. Can you just like mentor me, help me get to where I need to be, and I'll keep on referring people and you'll take it off, because he didn't have the money to pay us. And I was like, dude, I would love to, but you are allergic to money. You couldn't, like, you're having so much resistance to money and accepting money that it wouldn't work. Like, you would send us all these people and you wouldn't get the results. And it was funny because he was at Tony Robbins when I told him this. Oh yeah, totally, man. Or sorry, Claire. Yeah, totally. I get it. You're like in the middle of the night. So he was at Tony Robbins, and it was funny that, does people believe in divine timing? Do you guys believe in like how weird incidents like that? So he literally, after our conversation, I love your, Krista has a thing now. So he had somebody come up to him, a girl, and he was helping her do a video. And she literally, after he helped her, she goes, I would have paid $1,000 for that. You can't make this stuff up. And so instead of enrolling her into this program, he literally went and like